Surf Girls on Prime, featuring, among others, Veselko of Portugal, leading the Challenger Series here as a wild card at the Corona Cero Open J-Bay World, where she'll take on world number 4, Bettylou Sakura Johnson, already with 2 CT wins.
And see what she has to do to get there, but she's got great technique, great rail work. We've seen glimpses of it in this heat already. You can tell she really drives hard, carries a lot of speed through her turns here, but just choosing a couple of these faster waves down the line. So, and Kika, she's getting this heat underway.
Tearing down the line, Veselko with the power approach that's served her really well in her career thus far. And then using that rail to join up the dots on a wave that stretched out and eventually went a little soft for her.
This year she's stuck to pretty traditional surfing so far, but you'd have to think if Erin could crack that top 5, she's a real threat over there in Fiji. Considering her first ever CT was there, and she had a win in her first ever championship tour event as a wild card.
Very relaxed Olympic champion Caroline Marks. Here we go. Let's get into it with Sakura firing up here. Nice section in front of her, and she'll load the speed. Unable as yet to get on the attack. She'll get a section here in a moment and a really nice connection. It'll just be that one hit from her. Bit of a trademark turn. She just hangs it up, gets a little airdrop down, which makes it look dynamic and pretty cool. She would have wanted maybe a couple more sections like that, Jez.
Does come in as the best wave of the heat though. Lays it on rail, just a bit of a cut back to that power source there. I wouldn't say that was a big money turn on this wave because it really did come down to this last one. So bulk of the points here living right in this section. Big section, clicks with it, maybe slightly under, but still so much water coming out. Falls down with the lip here. You can see there, she just always is just pushing hard, and her board almost has to reverb back towards her with that lip coming back down. So really great control there for Bettylou. You can see she's got really fast. So she definitely deserves to be there. She's won 2 out of 10 events. The only other lady to win 2 events this year is Gabby Bryan. And that's a massive, accolade to Betty, because Gabby was in yellow for a big chunk of the season. This lady would love to challenge for Final 5 next year.
Bit of momentum here for Veselko. Nice wave, good connection. The third turn is really crisp. She gives a sort of swing with the shoulders and the arms and gets that momentum, gets out in front for the completion. So 3 maneuvers done, heading towards it, getting in a position to take off, which you will do. And a decisive moment. It's a solid wave, actually, with a lot of energy, and she gets caught in a low line, actually put herself quite deep to get on the wave, and ultimately that section, let's see exactly where we go here. 4 minutes 40. It's your heat leader on a smaller wave from wider, and she'll set up and just clip the lip and just keep that momentum, because things will get steep and go faster through here. And this is where she'll try and connect with those power turns. Here's a steep section, and she'll punch that, a little tail release as well. So again, not making massive amounts of linear progress down the point here, but doing pretty decent work in terms of getting on the attack, linking a few maneuvers together, and also not hanging around with that priority.
Left Bettylou chasing a 3-4-5, which is absolutely nothing for someone of Bettylou's quality. So Kika making the decision to try and drop that 2-7-7, which she definitely would have done here. Floats that section, then uses that speed to really drive through that carve there for Kika. Big steep section ahead of her, and made the most of it. One big turn on that end section there. So not surfing out of her skin, but surfing pretty smart when it comes to the context of this heat and how long is left. So that's going to really apply some pressure, bump up that score for Bettylou for what she's going to need to try and take the win here in this last 3.5 minutes. So really smart decision making here from Kika, especially when it came to that last turn. I mean, pushing really hard off that back foot. All of her fins would have been out the back of that wave. So surfing like she knows what's up.
Oh, you can feel the tension here. 3 on the clock. Here goes Sakura. And this wave looks like a runner. This one much wider and shaping down the point. She'll join the dots with rail work outside, and then she'll take her line down through a really nice section and get the release in the snap off the top again. Really cool. And she'll combo those turns, and a lot more spark and drive from her. Exactly what she needed at this stage.
Shape goes. This wave had a really beautiful wall ahead of it, so Betty gained some speed right at the start here. Slash in the pocket for Bettylou. and picked the right line, stayed high to come back around, and really nice carve back to the power source here for Bettylou. And then this turn here, best turn of the heat, pushed so hard through that section, came up and over there for a finishing turn. So Bettylou knew that she needed to push back. She knew that, you know, it's do or die. She was in a danger zone when it came to Kika, and she's just dropped what is going to be the best wave of the heat. And it was, I mean, the pace of the wave, the tempo, the way she surfed it, she didn't need to push out of her skin. She surfed this to a beautiful tempo, especially through that inside section. That second to last turn, dug the rail, really pushed hard off her back foot all the way through. Look how much power is coming off her back foot there. So much, it actually looked like it lifted off the tail a little bit. Regained to come through this section and just attack. Up and over the lip there, drift the fins.
And she kept the focus and the concentration, ultimately delivered the best surfing, and avoids a tricky wild card in F.Veselko. And that'll be it for her at J-Bay, but she'll take that experience and she'll take it back to the Challenger Series where she is leading